William, hopefully your favorite videographer from Two Hats Publishing. I welcome you to another Two Hats special of community events. Let's look in and see what's really happening.
It's time to bring the meeting to order. It's time to bring the meeting to order. Can't?
No.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's oh, yeah.
How about that? This little blue light wasn't on. Okay, this is the monthly meeting of the Alliance Homeless Forum. This is the April edition. And traditionally what we do here is we start off by introducing ourselves. My name is Leon Holman. I'm the co-chair. To my right, Mr. Ricky Red, co-chair. So now, I know you guys are just getting settled in. But, we appreciate if you can introduce yourself so we'll know who we're in the midst of. So, can I start this way and give you time to swallow?
Art, introduce yourself. He's Art. I'm Siobhan with MDHA.
Excuse me.
That's what I was trying to wait.
I'm Cynthia with MDHA.
Either way.
I'm Ricky Red, volunteer with MDHA on the board of directors.
When you're here, I'm Helen Turner, a member of the Ryan White Planning Council of the Dallas planning area.
Can you give us a little more?
Well, actually, we're in charge of administration, coordination, evaluation, and continuous planning.
Hold on a second, ma'am. Hold on a second.
That impacts people living with HIV and AIDS.
What's
I blocked it in.
Yes, sign in and have a seat.
Boy, Suzanne.
She's coming.
Oh, okay. You know, okay.
Sit there and wait till like.
How doing?
How you doing? Well, maybe
Okay.
I'll start that over.
Start over this.
My name is Helen Turner, and I'm a member of the Ryan White Planning Council, and we're in charge of administration, coordination, collaboration, evaluation, and continuous planning to optimize the health of folk living with HIV and AIDS.
Okay.
So we are this year trying to make sure we go in the community and partner and have alliances with other entities that affect at risk as well as those infected with HIV and AIDS.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I know you just came in at short notice, but it's introducing time.
Hi, good morning. I'm Constance Wallace. I am the representative coordinator for the Youth House with ASD.
I'm Gerald Rolls, and I attend Upper Room Church, and I'm just curious and anxious to see what contributions can possibly be made for the community and the homeless situation, not just in this city, but every city.
Okay.
Charles Piano, formerly homeless, and now with the Stu Pilot Art Program.
And I wanted to mention that I did see Charles on TV, and they did an excellent piece on him. It was on, what channel was it on?
Channel 8.
Channel 8. That was like 3 or 4 months ago, right?
And what is your name, sir?
Piano, Charles Piano.
Okay.
He's a great artist. An asset to the community. Ma'am?
Good morning, you guys. My name is Jordy Mendez. I am a volunteer here with the Dallas Port Authority for homeless patients. I'm just here to help government information, know how you got in my situation.
I wanted to interrupt right quick. We're trying to get our Facebook Live technology perfected, so if there's anyone here who's camera shy, just let me know, and I'll point the little camera away from you, so we don't want to catch anybody that's okay, not a problem.
So we're on live right now.
Well, as soon as David gets back, we're going to try to get it to working, because what we want to do is next month we're going to have a county commissioner in here, and we want to make sure that, say for instance, we have inclement weather, and I talked to Dr. Woody, and he's going to try to bring it into the bridge, so that if people can't get here because of the weather, you know, it's raining, they don't have transportation, then you can see it, or you can get it on your smartphone. So that's what we're trying to work toward. So, ma'am with the blue hat on the back, I want to start back with you.
Okay, my name is Victoria Watkins, and I
recently was in one of the little panels that they had at Salvation Army, which I'm currently at,
Okay.
for the Dallas Housing Alliance, and I picked up this flyer yesterday in the city square. So
Okay.
I just dropped in and check and see what information we have.
Great. Let's do some of the great work that Siobhan does. She's getting it out, getting the word out, and we're getting fruit from that tree. Ma'am, you with the name tag?
The name tag says Aaron Moore. I work for Dallas County Commissioner Teresa Daniel, who will be here next month. So
Okay.
I thought I'd join you today.
You come in and scout us out. Okay. All right. I guess we'll go back to the gentleman with the gold shirt on. Yeah.
My name is Mike Mitchell. I'm immigrant, homeless from 30 years. I'm now from 7-8 years in Dallas, in homeless shelters, 1, 2nd, 3rd. I was in group home. They beat me. They say, no, they beat us and we defend ourselves. They put me in jail, court, and I need a little bit fair.
Okay. And so you come here to see if you can find some solutions.
Yes, yes.
All right. Next.
My name is Paul. I just came from Houston. Harvey, this place we saw.
Okay. So you came from Houston because of Harvey?
Yeah, and just got here. Been here for about a week.
About a week? Oh, okay. Ma'am?
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Annie Stokes. I'm currently homeless in the Maverick Ridge.
Okay, you're
pasted it on my desk and I decided I'd check it out.
Okay, great. I guess either one of you two in the back row can go.
Hi, my name is Andre. I'm currently in the Dallas.
Okay. And lastly?
Hi, Jackie. I'm with Hope Store Beginning Center and Domestic Violence Agency.
What in Plano?
Hope Store Beginning Center.
Uh-huh.
I'm the case management coordinator there.
Okay, all right. Okay. Hold on just a second.
Aaron, you got a nice person over there in the red hat. I haven't heard them on the radio show in a while.
Did you say something about the red hat?
Yep.
And what was your question?
The question was, I haven't heard you on the radio recently. And
Well, it's been a while.
Aaron Moore here is a big connection with the Lamb radio show.
On KNON.
Okay, great. I do have one other thing I would like to say.
Right.
I'm trying to set up alliances and partnerships and collaborations with the community as it relates to everybody being educated about HIV and particularly interested in those at risk, as we know homeless is at risk. I would like to take a photograph of your sign-in sheet as possible. Is there anyone here who does not object to me contacting them to try to set up an alliance with them? You can say no. I plan to do that.
Siobhan, is that good? Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Okay, yes?
Now, before you get started on this, I wanted to mention that the same thing happened. Last month's agenda incorrectly listed the next meeting for April 6th, and it turned out to be April 13th, which is today. And now the current agenda says that next month's schedule says the next meeting is May 13th, and I calculate it's May 10th. Just so someone.
It's actually May 11th.
May 10th. Well, anyway.
It's May 11th. My apologies.
It's not May 13th.
Okay, all right. Now, moving forward, we're on the committee updates, and the first update on the agenda is transportation.
Okay. So when we meet in May, I'll probably do it in June since we have some other assignments in May that we will be doing. I will have met with Dart by then. The lady was on leave, so our contact, so she's back now. But just so that you guys know, we have, in our current Dart enrollment program, we have 76 people who have purchased their pass, and there are over 100 people, I can't remember the exact amount, but over 100 people who are on the list. And so, as you know, this current term for the DOC program will end on June 30th. So if you are participating, or if you have a friend who's participating, just let them know that on June 30th, this one will end. And the reason why I'm meeting with her in the upcoming weeks is so that we can plan our next steps for past June 30th. So I will have an announcement about that in May to let you guys know what the plan is moving forward after June 30th. And the reason why we took it down to June 30th was because we weren't sure of where fair enforcement was going and how we were going to play into that policy. Did you have a question?
I do. Did you get my email?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, I apologize. So a few years, I guess like 2 years ago now, this group informed us that transportation was an immediate need that was not being met by our partners in the community. And so we went to the dartboard meeting and made our presence known. I think it was like 12 of us who went and spoke in front of the dartboard and just said, we need a solution. Homeless people cannot ride the train. We're getting too many tickets, et cetera, et cetera. So they listened, they heard us, and they started a pilot program, which we're still in the pilot of where we are eligible to receive 50% off of daily passes, 50% off midday, and 50% off of 31-day passes. And so the only thing you have to do is be homeless or formerly homeless. You do have to have a referral letter from myself, and then you have an ID, a bridge ID will work. And you take your bridge ID, the referral letter from me, plus an additional $2 to the DART store located at the Acton station and purchase a reduced DART ID. That reduced DART ID gives you the privilege of purchasing passes at the discounted price. Because as you know, you will purchase your pass at the station's platform or on the train or a bus, I'm sorry, wherever you purchase your pass at, that reduced ID give you the privilege to take advantage of the 50% off discount. And so this is 18. So this started August of 2016, and we've been moving forward ever since. And so this 2018 is the year in which DART will make some major changes, and we're hoping that our pilots have been positive enough for them to include us in their new changes that they're going to have effective August. Just 1 second, baby. Go ahead, ma'am.
I wanted to know, so this is going to continue, it's not ending, you have to pay $80 for one.
Okay, it is, as of today, it's going to end June 30th. I am going to meet with our contact at DART in the upcoming weeks to see if we will be able to extend past June 30th, because this is a pilot program. Yes, ma'am, in the red.
No, I was just going to say, I had spoken with DART. I also received
there it is.
reduced
Okay.
rate without getting the DART ID.
Yes.
Because DART ID is a cost.
Okay, so what do I pull up?
And the community. They told me I could use my Medicare card.
Correct.
And it's equally
correct.
So you don't have to go down the DART, get that ID. You can have a Medicare card and you still get that same privileges.
There are some discounts that you just go onto the DART website. There are some discounts that you can partake in and still receive the discount. She is absolutely right. But this one was geared towards our homeless neighbors. Just 1 second. Yes, sir?
My name is Sherry Rose. I'm with DART hand ride. I get a yellow green bus card. I can get on the bus free. I let one person ride with me free, but the driver tried to make my girl pay some fare on the bus. I told him I got attended on my car. I let one person ride me free, but they still try to make her pay bus fare.
Okay, then I'll take that back to them and see what we can do about that.
You have to say he's a helper. That person riding with you is a helper.
You have to help.
Yeah, if you
so
don't
that's the
say
term
that,
you need, helper.
It's hard.
But they still try to make her pay fare every time she with me. I let one person ride me free, and I won't let her pay. And she goes, but now I'm going to say something.
Say,
helper.
This is my helper.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, Ricky?
Let me just clarify, because I use the DART ID.
I got that too.
I don't use them. I use a yellow and green card.
Right.
I get on the bus free. I let one person ride me free. They try to make my girl pay.
Okay. He has a different situation.
Very few drivers actually check the ID for your daily fare. Now, you can use a Medicare card, you can do that, but the main thing that this does is it gets you, you can get a 31-day pass for $40.
Right.
If you go somewhere every day, that comes out to about $1.20 a day.
Yes.
So, and it's done, you don't have to worry about it the whole rest of the month, it's done.
Excuse me, like that.
That's the main number one thing that this does.
But why they try to keep charging me? I get on the bus free. They charge me
Okay.
$5.
Let's talk about it afterwards, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. Did you have a question? I'm sorry. So in the process for getting a referral letter, you do have to be working with the case manager. If you are working with the case manager, you go to your case manager and say, I would like to participate in the DART program, and she'll communicate with me. If you are not participating in the DART program, let's chat. I'm sorry. If you do not have a case manager, let's chat after this. Yes, sir. Did you have a comment or question?
I have a question.
Okay.
You know, like, you were like, me, I get an income, and I don't have nowhere to stay.
Okay.
It's chef, awesome chef. I've been homeless for like 2 years.
Okay.
My income is not big enough to give me no point in my name because I only get $750. They say, somewhere, how can the way we can find somewhere to stay? Because we stay at a boarding home, it's so disrespect. Because a man in the room with me, got the same room with me, he jack it off, so if I put my head on,
Sir.
if I put my head on, there's going to be a problem.
Okay.
I go to jail. I'm just saying.
Wait a minute. Let me stop you right there. Because right now we're talking about the DART program and we need to stick with our agenda.
What about the women's thing?
There will be a section at the end where we have the no card section and we can talk about those types of things. So we want to stick to our agenda because we have a lot to cover. So if you have a comment about the DART program or a question, those are the questions that we're receiving now. Yes, sir.
I'm kind of curious about the funding for that, for this whole program, and the future funding for this whole program. Is that what you're talking about? It's coming to an end in May?
June 30th. So it's not about funding per se, because this was a pilot program with DART to show them that we as homeless neighbors use DART, but we're unable to pay the full fare. So they agreed to give us a discount in the amount of 50% off in order to continue to use the to use public transportation.
I wonder if they could, after this pilot program, if maybe they're considering deeper discounts, like free, completely.
It will never be
No,
free.
it will never be free.
It will never be free. They will always charge 50% was the best that we can do, but I will ask them when I meet with her later this month. Is your comment related to DART? Okay.
No, that would be about DART. I'll ask a question.
If it's not about
If it's not about DART, sir,
we
we're
gotta stay on
not
track. I
entertaining that.
apologize, but that's
Okay.
how we maintain order. Yes,
How
sir.
many people did you say were on this pilot program?
Currently, there's 76, and it started January 1st.
Is that the maximum that can be on the pilot program?
The maximum is 200.
200. Why are we still 125 short? Does anybody know?
We do not, because there are more than 125 names on the list waiting to go and purchase the pass. So there's several people, like I say, who just needs to get the $2 and go down there and purchase it.
Like for me, I've been homeless since I came here, and I've struggled a little bit with bus fare, and I've never even heard about this until now. But I mean, so it could be like a
Communication breakdown. Gotcha. Yes, sir.
I was gonna, okay, well, this just came up. I'm thinking that there probably aren't a lot more people on the list because the program hasn't been publicized enough. If you publicize it more, those people will jump at the chance to get on that list.
Okay.
The other thing I was gonna mention, now, there are people who are getting the senior rate, which is half of the regular rate, but as we understand, a lot of these seniors are on a fixed income and they can't really afford 40 a month either. So I'm wondering if there's something, if you could talk to them about getting a further discount for the seniors.
I will ask. 50% is the standard rate that they're giving to the other programs that are also participating. So
I mean, if they can prove that they're on a fixed income, then they wouldn't have a lot of money to work with.
I will ask. 50% is the standard rate that they are giving for all of the programs across the board. So we, in order to maintain equality, they gave us the same opportunity as well. Again, is your question about DART? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I got DART card.
Okay.
So when I ride the bus and the person taking me to the doctor, do they pay like they pay $250 like I do?
No, with that card, you're the only person who's able to pay $250.
How do I get another card?
So then you have to go down to DART and request the card like what he has, which is the Handy Ride card.
Yeah.
So you got to do that through DART. I don't work with DART. All right. So that I'm not sure.
That card he got is $5 because I got one just like that. That card he got is $5.
That card right there is $2, sir.
But they charge me $5.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Now I want to make something clear. Somebody mentioned before about financing. DART does not. There's nobody that's supplementing the $40 discount. The discount we requested that from DART, and they gave that to us. So what they're doing is they're just taking a discount on the fare. So that's why we have to try to take advantage of this.
I ain't taking advantage of us. Right? DART, that's what they doing.
Sir.
They ain't taking advantage of us.
Sir, you got what I'm saying is that they extended us this fare because we requested it. And we took us 3 years to get this fare. So we need to try to take advantage of it. We need to try to take advantage of it, and before they say, well, nobody's using it, so we're not gonna keep, putting our administrative cost into trying to run it, because they have to incur administrative costs in order to implement this fare for us. So we need to try to take advantage of it. Now, one question, and what's your question?
I plan on getting. I see lots of charity donations coming in. And let's say, like for instance, the church that I go to wants to make a sizable contribution to that. To the DART program. Let's say that a church wants to just straight out pay for X amount of homeless people's rides.
They can do that.
Okay, but you were talking about administrative costs. Can the church take that on? Where the church can just...
Yes, they can. The church can. Yes, the church can. So.
Well, here's what I'm saying. Right now, the church is moving to the head, and the church will be the head, not the government. The government's coming down. That's politics. I'm not going to go there. But as the church comes to the head, it's going to be the church that has the better responsibility and the better ideas of how to take care of the community.
Okay, but sir, okay.
So let me answer his question. If you have a church that is interested in purchasing passes and giving them to the homeless neighbors who come to your church, yes, a church can do that. DART does sell passes to nonprofits and organizations, and the church, or the church in this case, would be able to receive a 50% off discount. My agency is one of the agencies that participate, and we do purchase passes at the 50% off discount. So we incur the cost, and we pass the passes on to you guys for free. Okay? So yes, that is a possibility.
All right.
Let's move it on.
All right. Next on the agenda is where to go. And we don't have where to go because we don't have where to go. And next, we're going to do the agency spotlight from MDHA featuring the State of the Homeless Address. So again, we're going to get to the lovely Siobhan, and here she goes.
All right. So, did anybody here go to the State of the Homeless Address other than Aaron? Okay. All right. So this derives from the point in time count that happened January of this year, where MDHA deployed several volunteers into the community to do a census or a count of the homeless clients. And so we had several volunteers who went out into encampments, who went out to just areas that we knew were highly condensed with the homeless population, and we actually conducted a survey on each person. So what we're going to show here are the results. So I'm sorry to bore you to death, Aaron and Ricky. I promise I won't go through all 57 slides, just the ones that are important to us.
And this occurred when? When did this occur?
The State of the Homeless Address was March 21st. The pig count was the last Thursday of January, which I think was the 25th. So this is our mission from MDHA. The purpose of the event from March 21st, this was just to go over, like I just said, the data from that event. So before we get started, let me ask, how many homeless people do you think we have in emergency shelters and on the streets?
How many? Don't mean I can't count.
Hundreds.
I'm one.
Okay, give me a number.
4,000.
Like 3,000 or
3,000, 4,000.
But some still sitting outside.
We counted some of those.
Yeah.
What's your number?
800.
800? Okay, what's your number right here?
I'm just one person.
Okay, all right.
Homeless is
5,000.
1,100.
Okay.
Needle place to stay.
5,000.
So,
In needle place.
I'll tell you what the number is. I gotta keep guessing.
Like 4 or 5,000.
So this year we actually outside we counted 731 people. We actually did surveys on 731 people who were sleeping outside. There were 609 people who we saw but didn't want to be surveyed. So we just put a little check for, this person is homeless but doesn't want to be counted for, whatever reason. We were awaking some people that, they were sleeping. So, did you have a question?
Did you go like to North Valley?
I'll show a map of all the places we went in just a little bit. But yes, we did.
Okay.
So 731, that's up from last year. Last year there were 565 people who were who were interviewed, I guess I should say. And a part of the reason why there was an increase was because we deployed more volunteers this year than we did last year. So when you have more volunteers counting, of course you're going to find more people. Why do you guys think that the number increased?
That was the wrong increase, because you go down about the Fairport, and bridge up on the Fairport, you see so many tents out there, like it's like really, like you at the project.
So this is a total of 731 plus 609.
That goes to the wrong.
So that's about 1,400 people that were outside.
That's outside there.
But my question is, why do you guys think that the number increased from last year? Yes, ma'am.
Maybe like you mentioned, more volunteers to count them. More
Last year?
More.
She's speaking. Wait a minute.
The fact that they're being reached out more.
Okay, outreach efforts. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Like last year, there was so many tents up on that bridge right there. The bulldozer pulled everybody's tents away. When y'all came through, y'all kept so many y'all camp goes there. When that bulldozer pulled every tent from up on that bridge right downtown. There was so many people sitting up on that bridge saying, by the time y'all came through there, they shut it down just a little bit.
Okay.
Because that's why it's not right. That's not right. That's not caring how many home people live.
Okay. Art?
No, the thing is that could be that a lot of people may have come up here from the Houston area, the Gulf Coast area, because of Hurricane Harvey.
Okay. Hurricane Harvey?
From a few days after the hurricane, they were having things on the news about people being brought up here in buses from that area because their cars had gotten washed away.
Okay.
And they've also had things on the news within a few weeks after that of animals being brought up from animal shelters to Fort Worth. There seems to have a large animal shelter in Fort Worth that a lot of them were brought to.
All right, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
What was the duration of the survey? You did it all in 1 day, 2 days, 5 days?
It's a snapshot, which is a point in time. So we did it just that 1 day. But we did have a deduplifier that made sure that we weren't duplicating efforts. Yes, sir?
Another one I can tell you right now is Harvey. And in fact, Dallas is doing a hell of a lot, heck of a lot more than Houston by far. Because in Houston, the city's trying to push everybody out and criminalize homelessness, forcing everybody to have to go somewhere else. You know what I mean? And so the numbers definitely going to rise because Turner is quick.
Okay. All right. So as you guys know, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I have a question and I have a need.
Is that about this?
Yeah, I think so.
If it's not, I'm going to shut you up.
I've been homeless since my mother has passed away.
Okay.
And I can't find a place to stay. I have income. I haven't been looking to my own income.
Okay, so let's talk about that in the note card session, okay? We'll get back to that.
Can I say one thing?
Is it about this?
Yes.
Okay.
I think a lot of the state of homelessness is not what people generally see. A state of homelessness is in a lot of ways a state of freedom. And it's not a fact that a person doesn't want to work. It's the fact that a person sees going into work as a source of bondage.
Okay. All right. So
that's some of it.
In January, I'm moving on. In January, prior to us doing the count, we brought in our data analyst, Lester, from our office, and he talked to us about what the count would look like, how you would be counted. We would be counting you using an app on our phone. So this is just to let you know that the information, if you were surveyed and they keyed the information on their phone, they were not taking your personal information. They were keying it into this app that's called Counting Us. So here's the number. The total number of homelessness in our community is 4,140 people. And that is the number of unsheltered, those who are in emergency shelter, safe haven, and transitional housing on the night of the count. So 4,140.
I was there. To me, the biggest statistic of all is that one that says 23% increase of unsheltered homeless. Because that's the unsheltered is costing the government a lot of money when it would just be simpler to just simply house people. And so that statistic is alarming.
It is. These are the numbers from Tarrant County. So Tarrant County had 2,000 homeless total with a 5% increase. So not only did it increase in Dallas, it increased in Tarrant County also. Yes, sir.
You know, like, you know, like right now, if you don't have an ID, you can't get in the shelter. Because they use your social security number and get paid out for it to the government. But the point is, why? You can't go, if you got
But does this have to do with this address I'm talking about? All right.
Where do I log out? Log out. Yeah.
Okay, yes, sir.
Now, how can I get out the street?
We're getting to that. We are definitely getting into that. Okay. All right. So again, there was an increase in homelessness nationally. If you want to review this report, I will send it to you and you can look at that. So here's the unsheltered number by city and by county. If you are from the city of Dallas, our number was 1,098. Grand Prairie, the number was 8. And you can see here, the total for Dallas County was 1,225. And then there was another 1,300 from Collin County. Okay. Someone asked a second ago about where did we count. The blue dots show exactly where we sent people to. I wish I had to put the freeways on here.
That's what this is behind.
But these up here, so he was asking about North Dallas. All of this at the top, this is 635. So all of that at the top is North Dallas. Where you see the blue dots, those are actual encampment sites. So someone has said, has called into the police department and said, there is an encampment of 3 or more people at this blue dot. And so we deployed volunteers to go to the blue dot and not only check this blue dot, but check the area surrounding the blue dot. So we surveyed everywhere that you see a blue dot.
No, this is something about
that.
Start a live video?
How about what?
Yeah.
Housing program.
Yes, I got a slide on that. Let's see if I passed it. So,
Connect.
Let's talk about this. So as you can see, I think most of us in here are in one of these age categories, 45 to 54, and then 55 to 61. Those are the two age groups that are the most vulnerable to our agencies when they're on the streets. We see a definite increase in those who are in age 45 to 54, and then our most vulnerable are those who are 55 and up.
Since I noticed they have a section for under 17, the children are actually the most vulnerable.
They are.
There are some people don't realize that there are children on the street with their parents, which is scary.
And so he brings up a very valid point that there are children on the street with their parents. Whenever we see or we hear about a family on the street, or mom with kids, or dad with kids, or a couple with kids, we immediately send out our street outreach teams to go in provide them with some assistance with getting into a shelter, whether it's a local shelter or we're having them to go to Tarrant County or Collin County. We immediately want to help our families who are on the street. We don't want it to be a situation where we have young children on the streets, because they are definitely the most vulnerable population. Yes, ma'am.
I've only been in the Salvation Army for about 6 weeks. This is my first time visiting homeless. This is my life.
There we go. Now see.
Good.
But they do a very good job with the mothers and the children. That no matter what time they come in, 11 o'clock, midnight, they make sure they get in there and get a room that they can go to. They take care of them.
Now there's some things that later we can.
And so they have a schedule. So they're doing a good job with that.
Good.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
I wanted to know that.
Great report.
Right?
On the other
People
thing,
can watch it later.
I'm assuming that all of these statistics are a result of what they did at 8:30 in the morning.
We'll worry about that.
We didn't do it at 8:30 in the morning, actually.
I thought that's what it
See if
said
you
up
can
there.
see it on this one.
Huh?
That's what it said up there.
Where'd you see 8:30 in the morning? You may have saw 8:30 p.m.
No, I don't know. I know when the first was, I thought it said 8:30 a.m.
PM.
Oh, p.m.
PM.
Oh, okay.
The count takes place as neighbors are settling into their encampments. So we start at about 6:30, 7 o'clock, and we deploy from our whatever location you're at around between 8 and 9 o'clock. So we're actually on the ground counting at between 9 and 9:15, depending on how far your site is.
No, see, what I was going to say is, of course, this could be true from the other side. I was going to say that the count on how many children were actually out there could seriously be higher, but if it was 8:30 a.m. like I thought it was, then the children might be at school. And if it's later, the parents might be somewhere with the children, so the children would be at the encampment without their parents.
It is done at night.
No, I'm just saying, so that actual count on under 17 could be considerably higher.
We used to go out even later. We used to go out like around 10 and try to count between 10 and 12, but we were having more people who didn't want to be counted at 11 o'clock at night, because that may have been the only hour they could sleep. So we moved it back to 9 o'clock, being boots on the ground and counting at that time.
Okay, because I think it might be safer to go out in the daytime.
It would definitely be safer, yes.
And they take it from the volunteers' point of view.
It would definitely be safer. However, we can't find any homeless people during the daytime because they are at multiple places, hopefully getting the ID, getting birth certificates, getting the things they need to move out the streets. So it's better for us to count at night, because we know exactly where you're going to be at night.
Oh, because what I was thinking in that term was that, see, I'm thinking that the count on under 17 might be off, because if the children would be in school in the daytime, if they started late enough, so if they went earlier, to like 7 in the morning, then the children, if they are, would still be there before
at night.
They get to school.
All right, so in the count, we found 60% of the people to be black. We already knew that. That's not news to us.
That's always
we knew that.
No.
Okay.
That's unfortunate.
This talks about our homeless children. Again, we did count the individuals who are staying at the shelter. So if you were at the shelter on that night and you say, oh, I wasn't counted and I was at Austin Street, the shelters counted you when you checked in. So at bed check-in, you were counted at that point. So that way we didn't have to interrupt the evening activities that happened at the shelters. So yes, you were counted. This slide talks about households with children. We only found 2 who were unsheltered, and we were able to get them to safety. 148 that were in emergency shelters and 151 that were in transitional housing, which means that they're there for a temporary amount of time, and then we need to find them somewhere else to go. Homeless veterans. The total was 331. 66 were unsheltered, 160 in the shelters. Length of stay, this is important to us because like this young lady said a second ago, this is her first time entering homelessness and she's only been homeless for 6 weeks. We look at length of stay because we want to shorten the amount of time that a person is experiencing homelessness. The faster we get them housed, the more successful we are. So that's one of the reasons why we look at length of stay. Yes, ma'am, Erin.
I was just curious if anyone in here was a veteran.
A veteran?
Yeah.
Mr. Jimson, that? Mr. Jimson, okay. Is that the one you wanted?
Yeah.
scribbling something down.
I just wanted to interrupt Siobhan for a second, let everybody know that because of the great work of David here, we got our Facebook Live post going. So you can take your cell phone up, go to the MDHA Facebook page, and then you can see it. So because of David back there, his highly skilled technological knowledge, we're up. So that let you know. So in the future, in the next month, and we're going to be able to, in case there's inclement weather or somebody can't make it, you can always get your smartphone out and you can look at this meeting on Facebook Live. Okay, now back to Siobhan.
So the number of chronically homeless that we had this year was 424. And chronic homeless means that you've been homeless for at least a year or more, and that you've had 4 episodes within the past 3 years, and you have a disability. So that number again was down. Last year's number was 542. This year's number is 424. So we were very much happy to see that number starting to decrease. 21% reduction. The last thing I want to talk about from this is a shelter challenge that we are getting ready to kick off. So if you are currently residing in a shelter, or even you're literally homeless, sleeping in an encampment, ask your case manager about being enrolled in our emergency shelter housing challenge, which is to house 90 clients within 90 days. So it started April 1st. And by July, we want to have housed 90 people. Shelter participating are Austin Street, The Bridge, and Salvation Army. And again, the goal is to house 90 people in 90 days. This gentleman back here said that his income is only $750, and that's really not enough for him to get his own apartment. So what we are encouraging and bringing awareness to and kind of promoting is room share situations where you find a partner with whom you wouldn't mind sharing an apartment with in a 2-bedroom, and matching you guys up. So two individuals in a 2-bedroom apartment, we can normally find a 2-bedroom for about $850. If you're receiving $750, that's about $425 a month, which still leaves you with a little money to pay any bills that you may have, or buy tissue, food, clothing, your daily necessities. And so a couple of months ago, we had some MDHA staff here to ask you guys some questions about, moving into your own apartment. And one of the things that we heard was that we want housing choice. So we are doing a good job of making sure that the apartments that we are looking to partner with are all over the Metroplex, and not just in the southern sector, or not just in West Dallas, but everywhere from North Dallas, South Dallas, East to West. We're looking in all of those areas to find a property that you're going to be satisfied with, because ultimately, as a homeless neighbor participating in the shelter challenge, you will be responsible for this apartment. So we want it to be somewhere that you like, that you're comfortable with, a location that is desirable to you.
What about the requirement for apartments that your income has to be more than 2/3
Yes.
more than what your share of the rent is? If you take, what was it, $850 for a 2-bedroom and divide that in half, that's $425.
So that's $1,200.
And if you're getting the SSI minimum of $750, then that's going to be more than half of your income. Which would be fine if,
we are aware.
But if your apartment won't let you rent.
We are aware, and so we do have someone on our staff who is negotiating and working with our landlords, our property owners, to say, yes, they may not meet that eligibility requirement. However, will you still be willing to work with us? And we have had some success. We've had quite a bit of success. And so we've identified at least one property that we're saving for the challenge. And so, we're excited to try and get some individuals who are interested in room sharing to move in together. Yes, sir.
My favorite in Austin shelter, something like the same that you talking about. But that's kind of cool. With a roommate, a roommate. Because he got his room, I got my room. But in the same room, I don't like. But different room, we cool. But we can share a bathroom, kitchen, because I can understand that. But that's good. Paying $425 a piece, that's still good. Because I'm not in the shelter. that's the greatest thing in the world to have somewhere to stay. You know, I'd rather be broke and have somewhere to stay anyway and be out of the street.
Would you be interested in the program, this challenge?
I'm trying to sign for it. But she told me wait till you have enough time.
What's your name?
McQuestion Dyer.
Rustin Dyer.
McQuestion.
Wait a minute, hold on. He had a question.
I said McQuestion. That's my name.
Oh, McQuester.
That's my name.
Write that down for me. Okay, I'm sorry, I cut you
How
off.
can I get on housing?
I have no idea. Because I don't work for housing, so I don't want to give you any bad information. The only thing that I know to do for housing is to go online to the Rents Cafe website that DHA is using and apply there. That's the only thing I know to do. And I can help you get signed up that way, but I don't know anything.
I will get signed up that way.
Okay, let's talk about it afterwards.
What's the name of that cafe you said?
Rents Cafe. It's the wait list for DHA. They're not Dallas Housing Authority anymore, they're DHA. McQuester.
My name, McQuestion. Dyer.
The next, one second for me. The next few slides, you'll see that when the group came here in February and they asked questions, these are some of the things that you guys said. And so we incorporated those things into the State of the Homeless Address because we wanted all of our partners to know this is what our homeless neighbors are saying. This is what they want. These are the things that they are requesting, that they are needing. So we're taking these things seriously and definitely into consideration. So I wanted you guys to see that and just be reminded that we do hear you. So the housing challenge is going to be divided into 3 steps. Let's get moving, moving up, and moving out. In the let's get moving stage, we're going to make sure that you have everything you need to move into an apartment. Your ID, social security card, birth certificate, if you need any of that, we're going to make sure you have it.
Do you need our water letter from folks?
I do. Yes, we do need your award letter. When you go into stage 2, which is moving up, you will be participating in a program called Ready to Rent, where we are working, we are explaining to you and helping you understand what it's going to be like when you move into your apartment, helping you make wise choices about moving into an apartment, budgeting skills, how to look for an apartment. We play a real fun game. My favorite game is the bean game, where you get to write down the things that you want the most. You know, do you want a garden tub? Is that important to you? Is it important to you to be close to the bus line? Is it important to you to have a big spacious kitchen? And then after we do the bean game, we see how much money do we have and how much money is it going to cost to have these things. And I like to do it because it kind of does a reality check where you say, well, maybe I don't need a garden tub because I really can't afford it. Or maybe a tiny kitchen is okay instead of a big spacious kitchen because it's just me. I'm only cooking for me. So that game is very important because it brings a lot of reality into the situation. Because yeah, I want to live in a mansion, but my money is only saying get this little property right here. Did you have a question?
Well, something else, Christina. What's a garden tub?
A garden tub is just a big tub that's oval shaped. It's just larger than what we normally have in an apartment. So it's an oval shaped tub. And it's very relaxing. I've only experienced it at hotels.
Something like the ads I've seen on TV where they have where someone can step into it?
Yes.
With a door?
No.
You've seen those?
Yes, the ones that you pull the door out.
You open the door and they
it's not like that. Not that quite fancy.
Thanks for asking. I was too shy to ask that question.
And then we are in step 2. We also talk about background checks and incomes, and so we may have to, if you're okay with it, we get your consent, run a background check just to make sure that we are matching you up with properties that work. And then moving out, we are simply helping you find that apartment that's great for you. Okay, so that's all that I wanted to talk about with the State of the Homeless Address. Do y'all have any questions pertaining to? Oh, he left. Yes, ma'am.
Do you guys have, for example, a job placement or point in the direction where you find that resource?
What was her question? She's asking about job placement. So in this training, in this challenge, we will not be focusing as much on job placement. However, I can get you some resources for job placement if you need that. Just make sure that you wrote your email address on the sign-in sheet. Okay. Any other questions about this? Or about the challenge?
Everyone who sign the sheet up there will be getting a copy of this PowerPoint? Or
If you want.
we need to request it
No,
individually?
so I can either send it to you, she's talking about the sign the sheet. I can email it out, that's not a problem. Or you can go online to our website.
Or our Facebook.
Yeah, and download it on our website. If you go to mdhadallas.org and click on SOHA, you can get the presentation from there. Or like David said, he put it up on our on our Facebook page. All right, any other questions for me? Yes.
Explain to me about transitional housing. I know nothing about it.
So, transitional housing is housing that's, this is the simplest way I can put it, temporary housing. So you are housed somewhere for say 12 months, but at the end of that 12-month period, you have to relocate elsewhere. It does come with a subsidy. And so, like I said, at the end of that period, so we are trying to move away from transitional housing because our goal is for you to be permanently housed. So we have a program very similar to transitional housing where you still receive a subsidy and it's still time-based, but it's called rapid rehousing. And with rapid rehousing, again, you receive that subsidy, it's time-based, but when your time is up in the program, you get to stay in that apartment. Okay. So that's the one of the things that's different. But that is the simplest way that I can explain. All right. Thank you. Any other? Yes?
Yes. I come more than 10 years from Russia. I was local over there. I here many years in America, don't get discrimination. And I applied again, and I'm studying for X-ray, for ultrasound, for MRI, for wound care, for cardiac authorization. No one hospital wants to give it to me a job. And for this reason, I'm homeless.
So you're looking for a job?
If I get a job, I'm not being here, I'm not being homeless shelter.
What type of job are you looking for?
To be medical, to be X-ray, ultrasound, MRI, wound care.
And so you have experience in that?
Bus pads on the dart. It's a green and yellow bus pad.
I still don't get national exams. They require I could get 3 months
They
experience.
switched to another. No, I went downtown. I gotta take a picture downtown and get that green and yellow bus card.
Hold on a second, we got you.
Hold
on a second.
I did apply for this North H, North Dallas H, what was this? All of the hospitals, they say you apply 43 times and still nothing.
Okay. Email me your resume, let me take a look at it, and then I'll work with you on job search.
Do I still get that yellow and green bus card like a while?
I'm not sure. I don't work there.
You work for
No, I do not.
No, she doesn't work for DART. She doesn't work for DART. But sir, she doesn't work for DART.
So we're gonna go ahead, you guys have already started,
We
and
can't
move
tell you
into
no
the
more
no
than what
part
we know.
session.
She doesn't know. I don't know. Okay, so you got to get out of DART.
Is that DART building?
Sir, I'm sorry. She does not.
We're gonna go ahead and move into the no part
Oh, she don't work for DART.
So you got
So
to
who
go
can
down
I
to
talk to?
You got to go down to
the session.
That's what I'm saying.
where
It's that
you
white
get
building.
to
That's what I'm saying.
Have 2 minutes to talk about whatever you want to talk about and try to hurry and find a solution. Not hurry up the time, but give you something that's.
Oh, she don't work down here.
Anybody?
Downtown, the headquarters at this white building.
Write it on here, and the reason why I asked y'all to write it down is so that if I can't help you with it immediately, I can take it back and come back to you later with the explanation. Yes, we are.
I gotta have one of those.
An agenda? Anybody else have any, okay? While we are doing, you got it right on here. Questions and comments? While we are waiting.
She got one to record.
Doing the no part session. While we're doing the no part session, I have a couple of announcements.
That's out over.
Can I find out?
Siobhan, we're gonna do Charles. Now you're gonna do your announcement.
Mr. Piano, come on up. Let's do it now.
All right.
What you need, baby?
I want to bring up Mr. Piano, so he's gonna do his success story. Okay?
Okay.
All right. You can use the mic or whatever.
I know. Okay, let's give Mr. Piano our undivided attention, please. Excuse me. Let's give Mr. Piano our undivided attention. He is going to tell us a little bit about him.
Well, this is kind of embarrassing, but I'm Charles Piano. I'm formerly homeless. 2012, I went homeless after my wife died, and I went through 3 years of losing my business. But I learned a lot, and now I went through the shelters for 2 years. I went in a tent under the bridge for 2 years. Now I'm in a housing program, and it's really helping out, making my ego feel better, give me somewhere to live. And I've been in a housing program for going on 2 years in June. And they give me an apartment, rescued me from the tent city when we were under there, which is pretty horrible conditions. But I've seen all sides of homelessness, but now I'm kind of getting on my feet. My arts program is doing well. I'm selling more. The church has helped me out. I'm getting side work and commissions. It's really getting on my feet, making me feel like a part of the community again. That's what I'm trying to do, is give back to the community. I'm currently a volunteer here at the library doing art classes on Wednesdays. I start in May. And it's just one way I can give back to the community that I've been given so much from. And I really recommend anybody go into the housing programs that are available, because they've really made a difference in my life. And that's really all I've got to say. But
That's not all you've got. How about the state fair?
I won the state fair in 2016 for my artwork, my embroidery.
Give us more information about your work. What kind of work do you do?
I make blankets, I make embroidery, I do tapestries, I make women's fashion accessories like bags and hats. Just crazy stuff, On my phone, I've got it on my phone. On my website, Facebook website, Charles Piano also. I keep my current artwork there. And it's no, not at this time, but it's a good idea.
Step away. I'm trying to if I can get your website up here. I'm just trying to see if I can get his website up.
Why y'all got me up there? Charles Piano. Facebook.
Facebook?
Yes, Charles Piano.
Piano?
Yes, exactly.
Facebook. Let's see. Which one? This one?
Yeah, I guess that's the only thing.
Okay, while we're doing that, I do have a few quick announcements. If anyone, so we have, right now we have 2 agencies who are desperately looking for families to have.
It's on my Facebook.
And so the first one is looking for a family that will fit into a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment.
You go down, there's blankets and
You do have to be homeless. Preferably literally homeless, and no criminal background. That's all. I'm trying to remember what it was. No criminal background. Then the other is looking for a family to fit into a 3-bedroom apartment. And then both of these programs, you have to have income. So income is a necessity. The second program, they will accept criminal background. It just depends on what it is. So it's case by case, and it is a 3-bedroom, so you have to have kids as well. And someone in the family does have to have a disability, whether it's mom, dad, the children, etc. To find out more about those programs, you can email me at Siobhan.moore@mdhadallas.org. I have some cards I can give you if you want to email about those programs.
We have families that are looking for housing in the Salvation Army. I need to know more about the 3-bedroom. You already gave me part of it. You said the 2-bedroom was 1 bath apartment with a family. They have 1 bathroom with a 3-bedroom also.
3 bedrooms or 2 bathrooms?
2 bathrooms, okay. You might be there. When I go back, I'm telling you.
Ma'am, how can I get out the street?
Okay.
Disability.
Yes. Disability and be in the shelter.
Income.
And income.
Both of them.
Yes. Okay. Do you have income?
I had income. I haven't checked the income since I've been back. That's South Beautiful.
Where you currently stay?
On the street.
On the street?
I've been on the street since I've been back in Dallas.
Okay.
South Beautiful. South Bay Beautiful.
So let's talk about it after the meeting ends in just a little bit, and we'll see if we can get some resources.
Anything to be helpful.
Okay. All right.
I'm just tired. I'm getting sicker.
Yeah. Okay.
And my health is failing. Security and fast went down.
Did you have a question? I'm sorry.
Just what kind of like criminal background? 'Cause I have a ticket back from 2005.
That's fine.
The train, because I didn't have a bus there.
That's okay. Tickets are okay. We understand about tickets. Those are fine. Do y'all have y'all number cards?
Now, since you mentioned that ticket that they have, do they still do the ticket thing at the Stew Pot?
Oh, yeah, they still do it.
So you can get that ticket disposed of if you go to the Stew Pot. So you need to go down there and find out when they do it. I had one and I got it off down there, but it was several years ago. But they have they bring the county court into the Stew Pot, and they let you do several hours community service, and then dispose of the ticket for you.
I don't have a bridge ID or anything.
At the Stew Pot, you don't need that.
You go to the Stew Pot and tell them you don't have a bridge ID.
I have a state ID, but I don't have a bridge ID.
At the Stew Pot, you don't need a bridge ID.
If you have a state ID, that's ID.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay, now right quick, I wanted to show you some of Mr. Piano's work. I got it up here, so I can get it to move around like it's supposed to. Okay.
Quilt.
Next one. There we go.
Another quilt.
This is tremendous work here. You can see this is tremendous. Quilting is tremendously time consuming, and you got to know what you're doing to get to look right.
Just have to be patient.
Black Panther.
So that's takes a lot of skill, a lot of artistic ability to do that.
Embroidery.
Embroidery, okay, that's embroidery.
And a lot of patience.
In process.
Right. So you can see how skilled how talented he is.
It's a flower garden.
That's just great.
That's a quilt.
Quilt.
It's a small quilt. Hang on the wall. It's a flower garden.
Do they have any of your stuff?
Bicycle. Got a bicycle.
Charles, do they still have some of your stuff hanging here at the library?
No, our show ended in January.
Oh, okay.
So we do that once a year, December weekend.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
How do you acquire the material?
A lot of donated.
Yeah. That's the nature of quilting is different stuff.
Oh, yes. I was waiting on this text.
That's
Okay.
a table set with, that's just a friend of mine's artwork.
Okay.
She's a blind lady, that's her blind.
Oh, okay.
She's hanging on my house.
Okay.
So even she's blind, she does artwork.
Okay.
There's the pillows that match the blanket.
Okay.
Lady wanted matching pillows, like expected curtains now. That's a Vincent Van Gogh piece I copied.
Ah, Vincent Van Gogh.
It's a night cafe, it's called.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
Back of the quilt.
Very nice. Very professional.
Crazy stuff. I do everything. Been making blankets 42 years, I can't quit.
Okay.
That's just blanket in progress.
Okay. You need to talk to the Nasher sculpture. Is that considered as something? Yeah, I don't know.
That's the one I'm working on, City of Dallas.
Okay.
All along Hot
While he scrolls through those, I'll go ahead and make a couple of announcements.
That's another Van Gogh piece.
I'll talk about the first two things. Oh, Ryan, you guys here probably don't remember Ryan. Ricky does. So Ryan is texting me. He says on the third Saturday monthly, they are still doing Laundry Love. So if you need to have your items washed, you can meet him at the corner of Jeffries and Hickory Street, across from Austin Street at 8:30 on the third Saturday every month.
What is Austin Street? I heard about that, but I didn't know where it is.
Okay. Austin Street is behind City Square. You know where City Square is? City Square is off of Malcolm X, right before you go over the bridge.
Going toward
South Dallas.
like going toward Stupa.
No.
That's where the Social Security office is.
You know where the Social Security office is?
Uh-huh.
So it's on this side of the bridge from the Social Security office. So if you're at the Social Security office, go back across the bridge, and you'll get to City Square.
Oh, right there?
Yes, right there. So Ryan said that they do Laundry Love pickups 8:30 a.m. at Austin Street, the third Saturday monthly if you need to wash clothes. That was one of the note cards I received. Okay, here's another note card. So no, to answer her question is, her first question is, did our petition or our ask to DART include them not raising the fares? No, they aren't going to raise the fares. We've asked, and the cost of gasoline is going up. So as when the cost of things go up, so that's that. So she's asking also, why do you think 45 to 60-year-old middle-aged to seniors are homeless when years ago it seemed like 28 to 42 were homeless?
Can I answer that?
Yeah, go ahead.
One of the things that happens to a person is they get to a point in their life where they're too young for Social Security, but they're too old to work hard physical labor anymore. So once you get between that 45 and 55 range and you lose your ability for an income, you become homeless. And so that's why that's the biggest percentage. You just can't, too young for Social Security and too old to work hard.
Yes, you're right, but nobody wants to.
There also seems to be some research on the fact that specific people that came of age in the recession, the very, very deep recession during the end of the Carter administration.
Yes.
That those people, because of that period, just never got a break. And so one of the things we're also very worried about, there's a lot of research that's been done on this, and they've just started researching millennials. Because remember, folks that came of age about 10 years ago, we're seeing a spike in homelessness. That's probably going to be with us for, the next 50, 60 years, follow the same trajectory, unfortunately. So.
And then a lot of times, when I have drilled down on the numbers in the past to check on these individuals who are 45 years old, because we can drill down, a lot of those individuals had been homeless for several years. So if you, I think somebody here said they've been homeless for like 7 years. So if you were 28 when you first entered homelessness, you're now 35. So that's why we are definitely seeing more around that 45 to 60, because a lot of those people were homeless several years ago.
Can I share?
Yes.
Just a little bit. The reason that I'm homeless is not due to drugs or alcohol. My mom was sick. I took a family medical leave from my job. Did I know that she was going to be about 8 more years? So when I took the family medical leave from my job, they only give you so much time, and then they want you to come back or they'll give your job away.
Right.
Well, because she was in the place that she was in, my dad passed away first, so she wanted to stay in her house. And she made us promise not to put her in a nursing home. I've been with her when she went to rehab and all that kind of stuff. I stayed all night and everything because I wanted her to make sure she didn't get unnecessary drugs, because they can be stuff when there's nobody there to check on her. But I didn't plan for her to be alive that long, and I didn't plan for me to have anything in place when she passed, because I didn't know when she was going to pass. So that's how, when she passed away, the house went to somebody else. Okay, then that left me out here, and I came here because my friend has a house, and she told me to come and stay with her for a little bit. That's not working out. So I had to move out for respect for her boundaries and whatever else.
Yeah.
And I had to just go to shelter. Okay. So that's how I got there.
We hear a lot of family breakdowns causing people to enter into homelessness. And like I said earlier, one of our main focuses is to try and get individuals, individuals out of homelessness as quickly as possible, especially when you're new to homelessness. We want to help you move on. So I will turn it back over to the chairs. Any more questions for me? Yes?
I try also to apply for his DAP, which is help for people with low income, disability, they can pay for national examen, and they for 7 years, they promise me come again, we cannot pay you.
Let's see this way, his time is due.
Why you sit here and say no?
Go figure. Oh well. Want to end it?
I'll
start back.
College in Dallas,
Oh, you want to start back?
and I'm saying, you have to write the road with old.
So the replay of your video
To credit,
will soon be available on your timeline. Oh, good. I thought you have to like do something special,
I need a couple of weeks to
but apparently it just does it automatically.
you to finish it with force. And say, okay, I need good work, you can do it in the spring.
No, we don't all hear an end.
Finish starting from the beginning. I'm saying, I don't tell you for you again. It is welcome, but get out.
Yeah.
It is.
So you have to go back on the
Email me
page.
and I'm going to try to help you.
See, when you just go there, it goes
Ryan,
back to my
when I was
page.
talking
No,
about
no.
Laundry Love, Ryan used to be
That
the
will
chair
get to
of
my
this
page.
organization, or this group. He
See,
was one
this
of
is
the chairs.
what I don't
And
understand
he
about
has since moved on
Facebook.
to another
You can't
opportunity in
just
life.
have a
But he
page.
told me to tell y'all
Page has to be
hello.
connected to personal page.
I have a question for,
Okay, so now we're back on the page. Start by the
kind of
See?
next month.
Okay.
I have to find.
Call me ignorant if you want to, but I don't really know what the commissioners do. I know that they award contracts for roads and bridges and things like that, but besides that, what are those?
Commissioners are roughly equivalent to city council people, but for the county. There's 26 cities in Dallas County. So there is still things about roads and bridges, but they deal with the budgets for like Parkland, if you have interest in Parkland care, or they deal with the jail. So if any of you ever spent any time at the jail, she should list those concerns. She's going to be here in her role as co-chair of the Dallas Area Partnership for Homelessness. It's been meeting.
Okay, she's not in the role as commissioner.
She can be here in any role you want her to. She's just going to be here to listen to y'all.
Well, another question, does those commissioners have anything to do with zoning laws?
No, that's strictly cities.
Okay, because one of the ideals that I've heard before is if they could relax some of the zoning laws for multi-family units and residential areas, that would help.
It is a city effort, but I wouldn't hesitate to talk to her about it, because she could, we talk to all of our cities all the time. Her particular district has Richardson, Garland, Mesquite, and Dallas in it. So we're on the east side over by White Rock Lake, primarily. That's her area and her district, but we talk to all of the cities all the time. So honestly, anything you have that you want to talk to her about that the county touches, bring it up.
Okay.
Okay, now should be.
What about do they have anything to do with the bond that passed for the $20 million?
That's Dallas City as well.
Yep,
So
there
that's
we
all
go.
City Hall, City Mayor and City Council.
Yep.
Okay.
The city did the bond program. Now we're helping with, the county is helping with some of that for like matching funds and things, but it's their money. I mean, like moving projects forward or building new roads. We're doing a lot of, you mentioned roads before, that's part of what the county does. Mostly what the county does is, and she'll tell you this, the first thing she'll tell you is public health and public safety. So we deal with the jail, Parkland, Dallas County Health and Human Services, which has some assistance programs that y'all probably should be made aware of. So it's a bigger level than the city. The city's going to deal with the people in their city. We deal with all the cities. So.
And I know they work with the funding streams for the program that I operated for Ryan White Planning Council, dealing with opioids, HIV and AIDS. Are those at-risk, including the community at large?
A lot of AIDS funding, other health care funding, some assistance programs. All
right.
Thank you. I'm gonna write some of that down.
Sure, sure. Yeah, not a lot of people know what the county does. We kind of operate in the background.
All right.
Okay.
Can I put a flyer up there for y'all to take? Is that okay, Simone?
Yes, so grab the flyer. Please come next month, especially if you are here, I guess you are. And you are formerly homeless. The commissioner wants to hear from you. If you are here and you're currently homeless, she wants to hear from you as well. So make sure you come next month. Like I always say, same bat time, same bat place.
All right. So I guess that's all. And come on back next month. Remember, it's the second Friday of every month at 10:30. So we look forward to seeing you next month. The meeting's adjourned.
This is William, hopefully your favorite videographer from Two Hats Publishing. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please leave comments below, or like, follow, or subscribe to us and get notices of all our videos. We love it, even when you call.